You were not born to be an option. You were not meant to chase people who don't see your worth. The moment you stop proving your value to those who take you for granted, that's the moment they start missing you. 2025 is not the year to beg for love, attention, or validation. It's the year you step back, level up, and let them feel your absence so deeply that they crave your presence. Want to know how? Listen up, because this will change your life. When you're always present, always available, always just a call or text away, people begin to take you for granted. It's human nature. We don't appreciate the air we breathe until we struggle to catch it. We don't value water until we are thirsty. The same rule applies to people. The moment you stop showing up for those who never valued you, you become irreplaceable. Imagine this. You have a favorite song and you play it every single day. At first, it fills you with excitement. You sing along, it lifts your mood, and you can't get enough of it. But over time, as you keep listening to it on repeat, something changes. The excitement fades, the song no longer feels special, and you eventually stop appreciating it the way you once did. Now take a different approach. What if you stopped listening to that song for a while? One day, out of nowhere, it plays on the radio, and suddenly nostalgia hits you. You remember how much you loved it. You feel its impact again. That's exactly how human relationships work. The more accessible you are, the more people take you for granted. But when you step back, you create space for them to miss you. Think about the strongest personalities in the world. Do they constantly explain themselves? Do they beg for people's time? No. Their absence is powerful. Their distance makes people curious, intrigued, and longing for. A queen never chases. A king never pleads. They let their absence speak for them. Picture yourself at work. You're the person who always says yes. You take on extra responsibilities, stay late, and help everyone. At first, your dedication is admired, but over time, people start expecting it. No one says thank you anymore. Your hard work becomes invisible. But then, one day, you decide to pull back. You stop overextending. You focus only on your job, nothing extra. Suddenly, people notice. They start asking, where is she? Why isn't she stepping in? And that's when you realize, the moment you step back, your value skyrockets. In friendships and relationships, this rule is even more powerful. If you are always available, always responding instantly, always the one making plans, you unknowingly teach people that your presence is guaranteed. But the moment you disappear, the moment you stop initiating, stop checking in, stop chasing, people start feeling the void. They start wondering about you. That's when they realize how much they took you for granted. A woman who constantly calls, texts, and checks in on a man gives him no reason to miss her. But when she pulls away, when she focuses on herself, when she stops making him the center of her world, suddenly he starts thinking about her. He wonders where she is, what she's doing, who she's with. The same applies to friendships. If you are always the one reaching out, always the one making the effort, and then one day you just stop, watch what happens. Some people won't even notice. And that's your sign that they were never really there for you. But the ones who truly value you, they will feel the shift. They will realize they need you more than they thought. Think of luxury brands. They don't scream for attention. They don't beg people to buy them. They stay exclusive. They let their rarity speak for them. And that's exactly what makes them desirable. Now apply that to your life. Stop giving unlimited access to people who don't value you. Make them earn your energy. Make them miss your presence. Even in social settings, the person who is always loud, always available, always talking, often fades into the background. But the one who speaks less, who is selective with their time and words, that's the person people listen to. That's the person who holds power. Look around at your life. Who are the people you're constantly chasing? Who are the ones you give your time and energy to without receiving the same effort in return? Step back, disappear. Not to punish them, but to reclaim your power. Watch how the dynamics shift. Watch how they start noticing your absence. Watch how they realize your worth, only when they no longer have easy access to you. Even in family dynamics, the one who is always there, always helping, always present, often gets overlooked. But the moment they stop, when they step away, when they focus on themselves, suddenly people start calling. They start missing what they once ignored. People don't value water until the well runs dry. Let them experience the drought of your absence, and they will never take your presence for granted again. Silence is a language of its own. It speaks when words fail. It commands attention without effort. It is the most powerful response you can give to those who underestimate, disrespect, or take you for granted. When you choose silence over reaction, you shift the power dynamic in your favor. Because silence is not empty, it's full of meaning, and those who have wronged you will feel it deeper than any argument you could ever have with them. Imagine this. You send a long message to someone, explaining yourself, pouring your heart out, hoping they will understand, and they reply with just one word. Okay. That feeling of frustration, of being unheard, of being dismissed, that's the power of silence. Now, reverse it. The next time someone disrespects you, ignores you, or tries to provoke you, don't respond, don't explain, don't engage, just be silent. Watch how they start craving your reaction. Watch how they start wondering what's going on in your mind. A lion does not need to announce its presence in the jungle. It walks in silence, and everything around it notices. The moment you stop reacting, the moment you stop explaining, people will start listening, not because you are loud, but because your silence speaks volumes. It forces them to think. It forces them to reflect. Think about arguments. When two people are fighting, emotions run high, words are thrown like weapons, and no one really listens. But have you ever noticed what happens when one person suddenly stops responding? The other person gets even more frustrated. They start repeating themselves. They try harder to get a reaction. Because silence is uncomfortable. It makes people face their own words. It makes them sit with their own mistakes. In relationships, the person who begs, who argues, who constantly tries to fix things, often loses their dignity. But the one who pulls back, who refuses to engage in endless debates, who chooses silence over begging, that's the one who holds the power. When someone ignores you, don't chase. When someone disrespects you, don't argue. Just step back, stay silent, and let them feel your absence. Silence is the loudest message you can send. Have you ever seen a person in a room full of noise, sitting quietly observing? That person holds the most power. While everyone else is talking, they are watching, calculating, understanding everything, without having to say a word. Because those who talk less, listen more. And those who listen more, control the conversation. Look at the most successful people in the world. Do they waste time explaining themselves? Do they react to every criticism? No, they move in silence. They let their success do the talking. They understand that words can be debated, but silence cannot. It leaves people guessing. It creates an air of mystery. It makes people want to know more. Think of a moment when you gave someone the silent treatment. Not out of pettiness, but because you were done explaining, done arguing, done proving yourself. That silence probably made them reach out to you first. It made them question their actions. Because people don't realize your worth when you're always available, always speaking, always reacting. They realize it when you stop. Even in business, the most powerful negotiators are the ones who master the art of silence. When an offer is made and the other party goes silent, the person making the offer starts doubting themselves. They start thinking, did I say too much? Did I make a mistake? That's the power of silence. It forces people to fill in the gaps with their own insecurities. Think about social media. The people who constantly post every little thing about their lives lose their sense of mystery. But the ones who post selectively, who keep their private life private, who don't feel the need to prove anything, those are the ones people are curious about. Because silence creates intrigue. There's a reason why the strongest storms are silent before they strike. A tsunami does not announce itself with words. It moves in silence and changes everything in its path. Be like that. Stop explaining yourself to people who don't deserve Stop justifying your actions to those who will never understand. Move in silence. Let your success, your growth, your peace speak for itself. Imagine someone hurts you deeply. Your instinct is to call them, to ask why, to demand answers. But what if instead you just go silent? No texts, no calls, no explanations. that silence will haunt them. Because when you argue, they can dismiss you. When you beg, they can ignore you. But when you disappear in silence, they have no choice but to sit with the consequences of their actions. Even in friendships, silence is a test. Stop reaching out for a while and see who notices. Stop making plans and see who makes an effort. Silence reveals the truth. It shows you who genuinely values you and who only kept you around because of convenience. People think strength is in loudness, in speaking, in reacting. But true strength is in knowing when to say nothing at all. When you master silence, you master control. Because those who don't explain, those who don't react, those who move without noise, those are the ones people never forget. There is nothing more powerful, nothing more attractive than a person who is constantly evolving, constantly leveling up. Becoming a better version of yourself is not just about success, not just about achieving goals. It's about stepping into the highest version of who you are meant to be. It's about looking in the mirror and knowing that the person staring back at you is stronger, wiser, and more resilient than yesterday. Growth is painful, but staying the same is even worse. The question is, are you willing to do what it takes to become the person you are destined to be? Think about a butterfly. It starts as a caterpillar, slow, vulnerable, ordinary. But then it goes into the cocoon, in complete isolation and darkness, away from the world. And when it finally emerges, it is unrecognizable, stronger, brighter, more powerful. That transformation wasn't easy. It took struggle, it took discomfort, it took change. That's exactly what happens when you decide to become a better version of yourself. It means breaking old patterns, cutting off toxic people, stepping out of your comfort zone, and sometimes it means walking alone for a while. Every single day you have two choices. You can remain the same, complaining about your circumstances, or you can do something about it. The only thing standing between who you are and who you want to be is the work you're willing to put in. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you a better life. You have to fight for it. You have to build it. You have to decide that you refuse to stay the same. Think of a gym. The first time you lift weights, your muscles scream in pain. It's uncomfortable. It's exhausting. But if you quit after one day, nothing changes. Growth requires consistency. The people who transform their bodies don't do it in 1 week. They show up every single day, even when it hurts, even when they don't feel like it. That's exactly how life works. You won't become stronger, wiser, or more successful overnight. But if you show up for yourself every day, in 6 months, in a year, you won't even recognize yourself. Look at the people you admire, the ones who inspire you. They weren't born great, they became great. Through failures, through struggles, through self-discipline. The difference between them and everyone else is that they never settled. They never accepted mediocrity. They knew they deserved better, and they worked for it. You have that same power. You have that same potential. The only question is, are you going to use it? Becoming a better version of yourself means cutting off anything that no longer serves you. Toxic relationships, bad habits, self-doubt. It all has to go. You can't grow if you're still holding on to the things that keep you small. Imagine you're trying to climb a mountain, but you're carrying a heavy backpack filled with unnecessary weight. You won't make it to the top unless you drop what's holding you back. Some people, some habits, some environments, they are dead weight. And if you want to reach your full potential, you have to let them go. Think of a person who once hurt you, who underestimated you, who thought you would never make it. The best revenge is not anger. It's not proving them wrong. It's becoming so successful, so unstoppable, that they have no choice but to watch you shine. Silence them with your success. Make them regret ever doubting you. The moment you stop focusing on them and start focusing on your own growth, that's when you truly win. Self-improvement isn't just about physical success. It's about mental and emotional strength. It's about training your mind to be unshakable. Imagine walking into a room where people are whispering about you, judging you. The old version of you might have felt insecure, might have tried to please everyone, but the upgraded version of you, unbothered, confident. Because when you truly know your worth, when you know what you bring to the table, the opinions of others become irrelevant. Look at your life right now. Are you happy with it? Are you truly satisfied? Or do you feel like you are meant for more? If you feel that hunger for more, listen to it. It's there for a reason. It's your soul telling you that you are not meant to live an average life. You are not born to just exist, to just survive. You were born to thrive. But you have to claim it. You have to step into it. Becoming a better version of yourself means embracing discomfort. Growth is not easy. There will be days when you feel like giving up. There will be moments when you question yourself. But the people who win in life are the ones who push through, who keep going even when it's hard. The pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of regret lasts forever. Do not let another year pass by without becoming the person you were always meant to be. In a world where validation comes in the form of likes, shares, and comments, silence has become the most powerful weapon. Not everything needs to be posted online. Not every success needs an audience. Not every struggle needs a stage. The moment you start sharing less, you start living more. The moment you stop seeking approval, you start building power. Real strength doesn't announce itself, it moves in silence and lets the results speak for themselves. Look around. People post their relationships, their victories, their failures, their next moves. Everything is on display. But tell me, when was the last time you saw a billionaire posting every step of their journey? When was the last time you saw a leader announcing their next strategy before executing it? Power moves in silence. The loudest person in the room is usually the weakest. Because those who are truly focused on building, on evolving, on winning, they don't have time to seek validation. They are too busy doing the work. Imagine planting a seed. You don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You water it, you nurture it, you let time do its work. Your dreams, your goals, your personal life, they are like that seed. If you expose them too soon, if you keep showing them to the world, you risk killing them before they even bloom. Some things need privacy. Some things need time. Some things need to be protected from the eyes of the world. Think of the people who post their relationships online. Every single moment, every single fight, every single reconciliation. What happens? The moment trouble comes, the world is watching. The moment they break up, the audience that once clapped now whispers. Because the truth is, not everyone watching is rooting for you. Some are waiting for you to fall. Some are waiting for you to fail. And when you put everything out there, you give them the ammunition. Protect your peace, protect your love. Let them wonder, let them guess, let them be confused. Because the more they know, the more control they have over you. Success loves silence. Look at the greatest players in the world. Athletes, entrepreneurs, visionaries. They don't announce their every move. They move in silence. They strike when no one is looking. And when they emerge, they are 10 steps ahead. That's how you win. That's how you separate yourself from the crowd. If you tell everyone your next move, you give them the chance to block it. If you tell the world your dreams, you expose them to energy that can kill them before they even take flight. Ever notice how the happiest people are the ones who post the least? Because they are busy living. They are not trying to prove anything to anyone. They don't need to convince the world that they are happy. They just are. Meanwhile, the ones who constantly post their perfect life are often the ones struggling the most. They need the world's approval to feel whole. But real confidence, real success, real happiness, it doesn't need an audience. It doesn't need validation. It just is. Think about a time you shared good news and instead of feeling supported, you felt drained. Maybe people didn't react the way you expected. Maybe you felt their envy. Maybe their energy shifted. That's the danger of oversharing. Not everyone clapping for you is happy for you. Some are just waiting for the moment you fall so they can say, I knew it. Some are pretending to support you while secretly hoping you fail. Keep your wins private. Let them see the results, not the process. Even in moments of struggle, learn to keep your pain to yourself. The world doesn't need to know every hardship you go through. Strength is built in silence. Healing happens in private. The more you share your pain, the more you invite opinions, judgments, and negativity into your life. Not everyone who listens is there to help. Some are just collecting information. Some are just waiting to use it against you. Move in silence. Let your transformation be your response. Privacy is power. The less they know, the stronger you become. The less they see, the more unpredictable you are. And unpredictability is power. Keep them wondering, keep them guessing, let them be confused about your next step. Because when people don't know your weaknesses, they can't exploit them. When they don't know your plans, they can't ruin them. And when they don't know your struggles, they can't use them against you. Your life is yours. Your journey is yours. Your happiness, your pain, your success, it all belongs to you. Guard it, protect it. Because the moment you stop posting everything online, you take back control. You become untouchable, you become unstoppable. And the world is left in the dark, wondering how you did it. The most valuable things in life are never easy to access. Diamonds are hidden deep within the earth. The most luxurious destinations are hard to reach. The most powerful people are never available at a moment's notice. That's because scarcity creates value. When something is rare, it becomes desirable. When something is always available, it becomes ordinary. The same rule applies to you. If you are always easy to reach, always answering every call, always saying yes to every plan, you are not being valued. You are being used. Look at your phone right now. How many people have instant access to you? How many can call you at any time, expecting you to drop everything for them? How many people assume you'll always be available, always ready, always saying yes? That's not power. That's not respect. That's convenience. And people don't value what is convenient, they value what is earned. If you give unlimited access, people will take you for granted. If you make yourself too available, they will assume you have nothing better to do. Think about the most successful people in the world. They are not easily reachable. They don't respond instantly. They are selective with their time. Why? Because they understand that time is power. The moment you become hard to reach, people start respecting your presence. They stop wasting your time with unnecessary conversations, useless drama, and meaningless distractions. They start valuing the moments they do get with you. Because now, those moments are rare. Have you ever noticed how people change when you stop being too available? The moment you stop picking up every call, the moment you stop replying instantly, the moment you stop showing up for everything, suddenly they miss you. Suddenly they appreciate you. But why did it take your absence for them to see your worth? Because human nature doesn't value what is always there. It values what is difficult to attain. You must train people to respect your time. You must teach them that access to you is a privilege, not a right. Imagine a celebrity. If they were constantly available, responding to every message, meeting every fan at any time, would they hold the same power? No. Their mystery, their exclusivity is part of their appeal. They are selective with their presence. And that makes people crave their attention even more. You don't have to be a celebrity to have this level of respect. You just have to set boundaries. You have to make it clear that your time is precious, that your energy is valuable, that you are not available to everyone all the time. Think about relationships. If you're always calling, always texting, always available, what happens? They stop appreciating you. They stop putting in effort. But the moment you pull away, the moment you become harder to reach, their energy shifts. They start chasing you. They start wondering, what's changed? Why? Because suddenly they realize they could lose you. And what people fear losing, they start valuing. Your presence should feel like an event, not a routine. People should feel lucky to get your time, not entitled to it. When you walk into a room, it should mean something. When you give your time, it should be appreciated. Because the more you give freely, the less people respect it. The more you are available, the more you become background noise. But when you become selective, when you guard your energy, when you make your presence rare, that's when people start craving it. Even in business, exclusivity creates demand. The most expensive brands are the hardest to access. The most powerful CEOs don't take random meetings. The most influential figures don't respond to every email. If you want to be valued, you must create scarcity. You must make yourself rare. You must teach people that you are not always an option. Because the moment they believe you are always there, they stop valuing you. Look at your life right now. Are you too accessible? Are people taking your time for granted? Are you always the one reaching out, always the one making the effort, always the one giving without receiving? It's time to change that. It's time to become harder to reach. Not because you want to play games, but because you understand your worth. You are not an open book for everyone to read. You are not a free ticket for everyone to use. You are rare, you are valuable, and from now on, access to you must be earned. You become the sum of the people you spend the most time with. If you surround yourself with mediocrity, you will absorb mediocrity. If you surround yourself with negativity, you will become negative. But if you surround yourself with high-value people, people who challenge you, people who inspire you, people who push you to be better, you will rise to their level. Because energy is contagious, ambition is contagious, excellence is contagious. Look around you. Who are the 5 people you spend the most time with? Are they lifting you up or pulling you down? Are they helping you grow or keeping you stuck? Are they encouraging your dreams or laughing at them? The answer to these questions will define your future. Because you cannot fly if you are surrounded by people who are comfortable crawling. Imagine a climber trying to reach the top of a mountain. If they are surrounded by people who are afraid of heights, who keep looking down, who keep saying, let's stay where it's safe, what do you think will happen? That climber will start doubting themselves. They will start hesitating. They will start believing that maybe they should stay where it's comfortable. And just like that, they will never reach the top. But if that same climber surrounds themselves with people who are fearless, who keep pushing forward, who keep saying, we can go higher, what happens? They rise, they keep going, they reach places they never thought possible. Your environment shapes you more than you realize. If you are in a room where everyone is complaining, gossiping, and making excuses, you will start doing the same. But if you are in a room where people are discussing ideas, making moves, and chasing greatness, you will be forced to level up. That's the power of high-value people. They don't let you stay the same. They don't let you make excuses. They demand growth. And that's exactly what you need. Think about the most successful people in the world. They don't waste time with people who drain their energy. They don't entertain those who bring nothing to the table. They protect their circle because they know that the wrong people can destroy everything they've built. If you want to be extraordinary, you must be ruthless with your environment. You must cut out the people who bring nothing but drama, negativity, and distractions. Because every minute you spend with them is a minute stolen from your future. Picture this. You're working on a big dream, something that excites you, something that scares you. You share it with the people around you. If they laugh, if they tell you to be realistic, if they make you feel like you're foolish for even trying, you are in the wrong circle. But if they encourage you, if they offer solutions, if they say, how can we make this happen? Those are the people you need. Because the right circle doesn't make you doubt yourself. It makes you believe in yourself even more. Look at professional athletes. They train with the best coaches. They compete against the strongest opponents. They surround themselves with people who challenge them every single day. Why? Because they know that in order to be the best, they must be around the best. The same rule applies to you. If you want to be great, you must be around greatness. If you want to be successful, you must be around success. It's not about arrogance, it's about alignment. It's about making sure that the people in your life are pushing you forward, not holding you back. Some people will say, but I don't want to cut people off. I don't want to leave anyone behind. And that's understandable, but here's the truth. Not everyone is meant to go with you. Some people are only meant to be part of your story for a season. And if you hold on to them for too long, they will keep you stuck in chapters that no longer serve you. Think about an eagle. When it flies high, it doesn't carry dead weight. It doesn't slow down for those who can't keep up. It soars. It moves with speed, with precision, with power. And that's how you must be. Stop lowering yourself to fit into places that no longer match your growth. Stop surrounding yourself with people who don't push you to be better. Your future depends on the people you allow in your space. Choose wisely. Closure is a myth. A story we tell ourselves to delay the inevitable. a desperate attempt to get answers from people who were never willing to give them in the first place. We convince ourselves that if we could just have one last conversation, if we could just hear them admit they were wrong, if we could just understand why they did what they did, then we would finally be able to move on. But the truth is, closure doesn't come from them. It comes from you. It comes from deciding that you will no longer give someone power over your peace. It comes from realizing that walking away is the closure. How many times have you waited for an explanation that never came? How many sleepless nights have you spent replaying conversations, analyzing every word, hoping to find meaning in someone else's silence? The harsh truth is, some people will never give you the closure you seek because they don't care how you feel. They don't care about making things right. And even if they did, even if they gave you every answer you wanted, it still wouldn't be enough. Because what you're really looking for is not just closure, it's validation. It's permission to move on. But you don't need permission to take your power back. Imagine you're standing in front of a locked door, knocking over and over again, waiting for someone to open it. You've been there for days, weeks, maybe even years. And the person on the other side, they left a long time ago. But here you are. Still knocking, still waiting, still believing that if they just open that door, everything will make sense. But what if I told you that the real power isn't in getting them to open the door? The real power is in realizing that the door doesn't matter anymore. The real power is in turning around and walking away without looking back. Think about the people who have hurt you the most. Did they ask for your permission before they left? Did they sit down and make sure you were okay before they walked out of your life? No, they made their choice. And now it's time for you to make yours. You can either spend your life waiting for an apology, waiting for an explanation, waiting for someone to finally acknowledge your pain, or you can decide that you don't need any of it. You can decide that the greatest revenge is your success. The greatest closure is your happiness. Look at the strongest people in the world. Do you think they waste their time chasing explanations? Do you think they sit around wondering why someone treated them badly? No. They take the lesson and move forward. They understand that closure is just another word for control. Another way for people to keep you trapped in a cycle of confusion and heartbreak. They don't beg for answers. They don't wait for apologies. They walk away with power, knowing that their value is not defined by someone else's actions. Picture this. You text someone, pouring your heart out, hoping for a response that will bring you peace. And then, nothing. No reply, no explanation, just silence. It stings, doesn't it? That silence feels like rejection. But what if I told you that silence is your answer? What if I told you that silence is the loudest response you will ever get? Because it tells you everything you need to know. It tells you that they are not worthy of your energy. It tells you that they do not deserve a seat at your table. And that is closure. A queen does not chase. A king does not beg. The moment you realize your worth is the moment you stop asking people to explain why they fail to see it. You do not need their words to validate your experience. You do not need their explanation to heal. Your healing begins the moment you stop seeking closure and start seeking yourself. Imagine walking away from a toxic situation with your head held high, without sending that last message, without making one last call, without giving them another chance to hurt you. That is strength. That is power. Because the moment you stop looking back is the moment you step into your future. A future that is no longer tied to the people who didn't know how to love you. A future where your peace is not dependent on someone else's approval. You don't need closure. You need to reclaim your power. You need to stop waiting for people to give you what they were never willing to give. You need to stop believing that the only way to move on is through someone else's confession. Because the real truth is, closure is not given, it is created. And you have the power to create it right now. There's a reason the past is called the past. It is meant to stay where it belongs, behind you. But the problem is, we don't just remember the past, we carry it. We carry the pain, the memories, the laughter, the conversations, the moments that once made us feel alive. And when someone leaves, we hold on to those memories as if they are the only proof that what we had was real. But here's the truth. The past is not a place you are meant to live in. It is a lesson, not a home. And the only way to truly move forward is to make new memories without them. Think about the places you've been with them. The coffee shop where you sat for hours, lost in conversation. The song that played in the background of your best moments together. The scent of their perfume or cologne lingering in your mind like a ghost that refuses to leave. These little things become triggers, pulling you back into the past every time you encounter them. You tell yourself that you can't enjoy those things anymore because they belong to someone who is no longer in your life. But why should they? Why should a place, a song, a moment be ruined just because they were once part of it? You have the power to rewrite those memories. You have the power to take back what was once yours. Go to that coffee shop again, but this time, bring a new version of yourself. Laugh with new people. Sit in a different corner. Order something you've never tried before. Take control of your experiences instead of letting them control you. When you hold on to old memories, you hold on to old emotions. And emotions are powerful. They can lift you up or keep you chained to a moment that no longer serves you. That is why making new memories is not just an act of moving on. It is an act of self-liberation. It is telling yourself that you are not defined by the people who left. It is proving that your happiness does not depend on someone else's presence. Have you ever noticed how a smell, a taste, or a song can instantly take you back to a moment from years ago? That is because your brain stores emotions within memories. But here's the beautiful part. Just as you can recall old memories, you can also create new ones. You can replace pain with joy. You can override sadness with excitement. You can build a new life so full of beautiful moments that the past becomes nothing more than a faint echo. Travel somewhere you've never been. Meet new people. Try new experiences. Take up that hobby you always wanted to do but never had the time for. Reinvent yourself in a way that makes you unrecognizable to the version of you that once felt broken. Every new memory you create is a step forward. A way of proving to yourself that life goes on and it gets better. Think about it. The people who left you have moved on. They are out there making new memories, living their lives without you. And here you are, still holding on to what was. Why? Why should they be free while you stay stuck? Why should their absence define your future? The greatest act of self-love is choosing to live fully, not in spite of them, but because you deserve it. Every time you make a new memory, you take back a piece of yourself. You remind yourself that you are capable of happiness, that you are not trapped in a cycle of nostalgia. You take control of your story instead of letting it be written by ghosts of the past. The best revenge is not anger, it's not bitterness, it's not proving a point. The best revenge is happiness. It is showing up to life with a smile so radiant that the people who left wonder if they ever mattered at all. It is replacing every old memory with a new one so powerful that the past loses its grip on you. You are not meant to live in yesterday. You are meant to create a future so bright, so breathtaking, that when you look back, you no longer see what you lost, you only see how far you've come. People are drawn to mystery. The moment they think they have figured you out, they stop being curious about you. When you are predictable, you become ordinary. When you're ordinary, you become forgettable. But when you carry an air of mystery, when people can't quite put their finger on who you are, what you're thinking, or what you'll do next, you become irresistible. You become unforgettable. Think about the most captivating characters in movies or books. The ones that hold your attention, the ones that leave you wondering what they'll do next. They are never the ones who give away everything at once. They keep people guessing. They don't reveal their entire story in the first chapter. Instead, they let people earn the right to know them, piece by piece. And that is what makes them powerful. In life, you should be the same. Stop explaining yourself to everyone. Stop feeling the need to justify your choices, your thoughts, your moves. Not everyone deserves access to your mind. When you tell people everything about you, you give them the power to predict you. And when they can predict you, they stop valuing you. Instead, let them wonder, let them try to figure you out, keep them guessing, and they will never lose interest. There is power in unpredictability. When you always react the same way, when people know exactly what to expect from you, they take you for granted. But when you become unpredictable, you shake things up. You keep people on their toes. They never know what's coming next. And that makes you someone they can't ignore. Think about relationships. The most dangerous trap people fall into is becoming too available, too easy to read, too familiar. When someone always knows where you are, what you're doing, how you'll react, they stop being excited by you, they stop craving your presence because they know they can have it anytime. But when you create distance, when you move in ways they don't expect, when you show them that you are not someone they can fully figure out, they start chasing, they start wondering, and that is when you become powerful. People are naturally drawn to things they don't fully understand. Look at luxury brands. Why do people go crazy over them? It's not just about the product, it's about exclusivity. It's about the fact that not everyone can have them. The same rule applies to people. If you make yourself too available, too predictable, too easy to access, people won't value you. But if you create an aura of exclusivity, if you let people see glimpses of you but never the full picture, they will always crave more. Your energy should be like a rare diamond, not a common stone that anyone can pick up. That means you don't always respond immediately. You don't always say yes. You don't always show your emotions openly. Not because you're playing games, but because you understand your worth. You understand that being unpredictable keeps people engaged. In a world where everyone overshares, where people put their entire lives on display for the world to see, mystery is a lost art. But that is exactly why it is so powerful. When you don't reveal everything about yourself, people can't make assumptions about you. They can't put you in a box. They can't decide who you are because you are always evolving, always growing, always becoming something new. Look at the greatest leaders, the most influential people in history. They were never open books. They never let the world see all their cards. They moved in silence. They spoke only when necessary. And when they did, the world listened. You don't need to explain yourself to everyone. You don't need to let people know your every thought, your every move, your every struggle. The moment you do, you give them control over your story. Instead, let your actions speak. Surprise people. One day, be the quiet observer. The next, be the one who takes charge. One day, be the one who is deeply introspective. The next, be the life of the party. Keep people intrigued by your depth, your layers, your complexity. Make them work to understand you, and they will never lose interest. Even in friendships, even in work, even in the way you present yourself to the world, keep an element of surprise. Don't always be available at the same time. Don't always say what people expect you to say. Don't always do what they assume you'll do. Keep them wondering, keep them intrigued. Let them see that you are someone they can never fully predict, and they will never stop paying attention. You were not born to be ordinary. You were not born to be an open book for anyone to read at their convenience. You were born to be a force, a presence, a mystery that people can't help but be drawn to. Let them wonder, let them chase, let them work to know you. Because the moment you become predictable, you become replaceable, and you were never meant to be anything less than unforgettable. You were not born to be an open book that anyone can read at their convenience. You were not meant to be understood in a single glance, nor were you meant to be predictable, ordinary, or just another face in the crowd. You are meant to be a force, a presence, an enigma that people can't help but be drawn to. The world respects mystery. The world craves what it cannot easily have. The moment you become an easy equation, the moment your moves can be anticipated, you lose your power. But the second you step into your depth, the second you stop explaining, stop proving, stop seeking approval, you become untouchable. Because people can't figure out what they don't fully understand. And that's what keeps them intrigued, keeps them wondering, keeps them remembering you long after you've left the room. The greatest legends, the most powerful minds, the most unforgettable souls in history did not beg for attention. They did not seek validation. They moved with purpose, with elegance, with an energy that made people stop and take notice. They carried an aura of mystery, a quiet confidence that spoke louder than words. They didn't have to say much, because their presence, their actions, their very existence demanded respect. And that, my friend, is the kind of power you were born to hold. There is something incredibly attractive about someone who does not reveal their every move. There is something irresistible about a person who does not seek to be understood, but instead lets their actions do the speaking. There is something unforgettable about a soul that moves in silence, yet shakes the world with their presence. That is the energy you must carry. That is the power you must embody. You do not owe anyone an explanation for who you are becoming. You do not owe anyone access to your deepest thoughts, your next move, your hidden strengths. Not everyone deserves a front row seat to your life. The ones who truly value you will make the effort to understand you without demanding that you reveal every part of yourself. The ones who are meant to be in your life will respect your silence, will be drawn to your mystery, and will never take your presence for granted. There is an old saying, a lion does not concern itself with the opinion of sheep. And that is how you must walk through life. With the quiet confidence of a king, with the mystery of a queen, with a kind of presence that makes people wonder, who is this person? What are they thinking? What are they capable of? Because the truth is, the less you say, the more people listen. The less you reveal, the more they crave to know. The less they know, the more they realize they can never replace you. You must understand this. You were never meant to be predictable. You were never meant to be an open book that anyone can flip through, scan, and toss aside. You are meant to be a masterpiece. Complex, intriguing, worth studying, worth remembering. You were meant to leave people in awe, to make them wonder, to make them feel something so deeply that they can't quite explain it. That is the energy you must bring into every room you enter, into every conversation you have, into every interaction you engage in. You don't need to be loud to be powerful. You don't need to prove yourself to be unforgettable. You simply need to be so deeply rooted in your own worth, in your own presence, in your own silent power, that people cannot ignore you. They will remember you, not because you begged for their attention, not because you handed them your soul on a silver platter, but because you carried yourself in a way that demanded respect without saying a word. Let them wonder, let them miss you. Let them realize that they never really knew you at all, because that is when they will finally see your true worth. That is when they will finally understand what they lost. And by then you will be so far ahead, so deeply evolved, so powerfully untouchable, that you won't even turn back to look.